Excuse my voice, I kind of sound nasally. My nose is really stopped up right now. I haven't been able to clear it out. But Plan A is Lil Tecca's new project, and I was somewhat sort of like not really anticipating it, but I had my interest, because my girlfriend really loves Lil Tecca, so I was already kind of excited because of that. Because if I'm around her, I'm gonna play music that she likes, and I want to play music that I like at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And also because Lil Tecca's last album, I feel like wasn't his best. Tech, I think, is probably his worst project, and it isn't even necessarily bad. It's just kind of very repetitive. That was my biggest problem with it. But this album, he kind of changes that up a little bit. It's really awesome how every song transitions to each other. I think that's an amazing detail. I think stuff like that in albums, excuse me, isn't utilized enough, and I wish it was utilized more because I think it leads to a better listening experience for your first listen. Um, I think the track list itself is very well put together because I don't know, there's just never really a dull moment. I kind of have my interest peaked the whole time. There's enough sound variation to where I'm not bored or anything, or I'm not like this is the same song I just heard. That's a problem I had with his last album. I felt like the next song I heard was just the exact same as the previous one, and I didn't really like that too much. I thought that kind of got on my nerves. But a lot of the songs on here, it's very consistent, very sonically great. Sonically, this album sounds amazing. A lot of the production is very good and makes me want to move to it. That those two are very like big things for me on an album, and they're he checks both those boxes. There's no real bad song on this project that I can notice and call out, but there are a few that I do kind of like. I feel like For You is kind of on the weaker side of the project, even though it's not even a bad song. It's good. It's not as good as the other ones. I think Vogue is probably my favorite song. I don't know why. I love Vogue a lot. It's not even too different from any of the other ones. It's nothing. It's no crazy Lil Tecca song. I think it just sounds great. I think it's impressive that this is a mostly solo project besides Don Toliver. And Lil Tecca is actually, I don't know if he is the most successful like solo rapper out there. That's a different video for another day or a different topic or a different research. But I do know for a fact he's one of the more successful because of like he has two. I don't like. It's either that have no features or that have like a minimum amount of features. He is very successful in that category because he's never really been that type of rapper to work with other artists that much. However, I do think when he does, it's able to mesh well with other, sorry for me snorting, but like it really meshes well with other rappers, and I kind of wish he would do it more. And also a new voice here and there probably wouldn't mess up the flow of the album if he picks the right ones. Like I think Don Toliver fits right into this project and improves it significantly, improves the song he's on a lot. I think some other voices here and there would have helped with that. I really think that's it. Honestly, this is kind of an album that even though I really like it, there's not really too much you can say about it because there isn't that many crazy elements. It's just a well put together album, and that is okay. That's a perfectly fine thing to have. You can have a really good album that it's hard to say much about it because it's just good. It's vibes. It sounds very vibey. It's very cool. It's very motiony. It's like kind of like rich person music. I think like the cover kind of signifies that a lot. You're in your like Gucci print sweater, just sitting on your Versace couch or something. This is the type of music you're listening to. Something like that. I think Lil Tecca is very good when he's making that kind of high class music, and I think that works really well for this whole project. And that's kind of, I think I just made that analogy like off the top of my head. I think that works really well. I think that's such a good way to like describe this album and its sound to it. Overall, I give it like an 8.5. It's one of my more like better listens of the year. It would probably make my top 10 albums of the year, even though obviously that's definitely, I haven't even thought about making that kind of list yet. But so far, number one's Mixtape Pluto. But anyway, you know, 8.5. If y'all made it to the end of this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and like button while you're at it. If you disagree with me or like agree with me, comment about it, show support. If you want to show more support, the link is in the description to my Patreon. If you want to join that for some benefits every month, my phone is very loud. However, besides that, if you want to show more support, Patreon, like I said, there's other links in the description to merch. There's my album if you want to go listen to it, and my streaming services, my social medias. It's all in the description. If you want to go crazy down there, go crazy.